Assalamualaikum and good evening to the madam and to the panel for today. So today we are going to have a forum session based on environment issue, which is factory development cause a serious environmental issue. First of all, let me introduce our panel for today, which is Nur Shafira binti Muhammad Zain as panel 1, Siti Nur Izzati Ashikin as panel 2, and Nur Shuhada as panel 3. As we know, this forum will have two parts. For the first part, the panel will take turn to give their opinion for the topic, while the second part, the panel will present their own point of view, either they will agree or disagree with the issue. Overall, our topic for today is about factory development issue that will cause a serious environmental issue. Environmental issue is indeed everyone concerns. There have been a lot of efforts being put by the parties who are interested and concerned to limit the damage done to the environment around the world, as well as to raise the public awareness around the world. There are three major factors which contribute to pollution in the city. These factors include the industrialization, which is currently taking place, the development of the new township in and around the city, as well as the growing number of automobiles in the city. Manufacturing industry is one of the economic backbones in the city and have been many foreign corporations setting up their manufacturing plants in the city since 1970s. Lately, foreign companies still keep on setting up manufacturing plants, leading to increase of the factory in the city. While these factories are beneficial to the economic development of the city in the sense to create the job opportunities to the people and around the reinforce to supply chains in terms of trade. Some companies who own the factory do not handle and dispose the industrial of chemical waste properly. So, based on the topic, we know that factory development cause a serious environment issue. Panel 1, and what is your opinion about the factory development cause a serious environment issue? Are you agree or disagree with our topic for today?
Thank you for our moderator, Nur Adia Bayuni binti Syamsuhaili. Assalamualaikum. I am Nur Shafira binti Muhammad Zain. Uh, my opinion is I am agree that factories can cause serious environmental issues. It is because factory emits toxic and dangerous materials into our environment. The dangerous toxic can cause environment problems such as global warming, pollution, and it can affect our own health and the destruction of wildlife. First, for the global warming, as we touched on earlier, a huge portion of climate change or global warming can be attributed to our reliance on industrial activity over the years. Toxic material and gases are burned and released into the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide and methane, because these gases are able to absorb radiation from the sun that have a direct impact on the temperature of the planet. And global warming can lead to rising sea levels, um, rise in earth temperature, rates of species of animals becoming extinct, and increase in tsunamis, typhoons, hurricanes, floods, and other natural disasters, and melting of the ice caps. For the pollution, it can cause air pollution, soil pollution, and water pollution. I will give one example. For example, air pollution. The toxic gases that factory release into the air combined with those added by automobiles on the road mean that we have an increased risk of developing chronic respiratory disease, lung cancer, heart disease, and many other illnesses, disease and conditions. Next, factories development can also affect our own health. As humans that are exposed to air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution, among others, we also face an increased risk of falling victim to illness and disease. Uh, Lastly, uh, my point is it can cause the destruction of wildlife. Factories can also be directly blamed for destroying certain areas of nature on our beautiful planet. Our hunger for natural resources such as wood, coal, and oil means that we are endangering many species as we go searching for it. Forests are torn down for wood, which takes away the natural habitat of animals and other wildlife, while mining also forces animals to look for somewhere else to live in hope of survival. Thank you.
And thank you, panel one. So we know that panel one has agreed that factory development cause a serious environmental issue, give us a negative impact because of the global warming and pollution. So, panel two, did you agree or disagree with panel one opinion about our forum topic, which is factory development cause a serious environmental issue?
Okay, thank you for the moderator Nur Adi Bayuni, and thank you also to Nur Shafira. I'm disagree with the panel one because I think factory development give us also give benefit to environment. So my first point why I'm disagree with panel one, which is it can improve the quality of life for each person and household. Before the world experienced industrialization, comfort and convenience were typically reserved for the wealthy, nobles, military leaders, and high-ranking politicians. The introduction of mass production changed how everyone could access good or service. It was a chain that led to mass production of numerous items, lower cost, and improved availability to the average family. So this event would lead to the first time in history when the poor or middle class could save money while still meeting their needs. Uh, you could you could own property without needing to be a farmer or a royal. You didn't need to grow your own food through homesteading effort. Some companies were even building down to give homes to families in exchange for their labor. Okay, for my second point, which is I'm disagree with panel one, which is industrialization improve our medical care. The technological advance that lead to our modern approach to medicine came about because of industrialization. Diagnostic equipment that we often take for granted today, such as MRI and CT scan, wouldn't be possible without this evolution. Factory made it easier to produce everything from scalpels to new laboratory equipment, making it possible for more people to become doctors, nurses, and caregivers. Instead of having regionally based care, the improvement to communication network allowed researchers to share their finding in real time with their colleagues. This process lead to this process lead to the development of new best practice, eventually leading to improved patient outcome. Yeah, that's all from me. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
And thank you, panel two. So, panel three, what do you think about the factory development cause a serious environmental issue? Since panel one and panel two has agreed and disagreed and had their own strong point. Um, are you agree with their point?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Okay, thank you, moderator. I'm strongly agree that economic development will provide more bad effect than good effect toward the environment. But I won't deny that factory development also provide good effect toward the community, such as it will provide better education, increase standard of living, reduce poverty, higher income, and increase the GDP. So I will give you the bad effect from the factory development. Okay, so apart from the issue that has been given by panel 1, I would like to add my opinion in this topic, which is the factory development also will cause the damage to the environment, such as pollution, environmental problem, disease, affluence, congestion, cause damage to nature, cause global warming, and also it will cause the loss of biodiversity. Okay, firstly, I will tell you about the bad effect that of the factory development, which is the pollution. Okay, the factory development will increase consumption of fossil fuels that can lead to immediate problems such as poor air quality and soot. Some of the worst problem is burning fossil fuels that have been mitigated by Clean Air Acts, which limits the burning of coal in city centre, showing that economic growth can be consistent with reducing a certain type of pollution. It will also increase the less visible, more diffuse pollution. While smoke were very clear and obvious danger, the effect of increased carbon dioxide emission are less immediate obvious, and therefore there is less incentive for policymakers to tackle. Scientists state that accumulation of carbon dioxide emission have contributed to global warming and more volatile weather. All this suggests economic growth is increasing long-term environmental costs not just for the present moment but future generation. Secondly, it will also um, it will also cause the environmental problem. Economic growth will cause a lot of environmental problem. During the economic growth, factories will operate for a longer time to increase the production output. So this will lead to the increase of the emission of carbon, which is then cause the air pollution. Okay, the economic growth means that large number of raw materials are needed to manufacture more goods and services, then this can quicken the depletion of non-renewable resources. In an economic growth, in an economic growth country, large amount of waste will be generated because of the high consumption, and many forests will be destroyed to build factories in order to increase the output. The action has then destroyed the habit for plants and animals and also caused climate change. Hence, economic growth which damage the environment will then decrease the rate of sustainable growth. It will also um, it will also um, it will also um, increase the water. It will also cause the water pollution. Okay, economic development lead to the establishment of factories. Wastewater from manufacturing or chemical process in industries contribute to water pollution. Many industrial units discharge wastewater directly without treatment into lakes, rivers, and ocean. Water contamination impacts the environment, and uh, it also when the it also will affect the humans. So that's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, panel 3, and thank you to the all our panel. Okay, and thank you for the great opinion. So we're going to move to the second part of the forum. Okay, we know that the panel has agreed that factory development give a bad impact to the earth. So, panel 2, why do you think that pollution was one of the reason for our topic for today?
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Actually, after I listen the panel 1 and panel 3, their opinion, I think I changed my mind and I agree with you with the statement, which is factory development cause a serious environment issue, has lot of pollution, which is air, noise, water, soil. Okay, I will elaborate the soil pollution. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Soil pollution is defined as the presence of toxic chemical, which is pollution or contaminants in soil in high enough like in high enough concentration to pose a risk to human health or the ecosystem. Okay, soil pollution affect plants, animal, and human alike. Why anyone is susceptible to soil pollution? Soil pollution effect may vary based on age, general health status, and other factors such as the type of pollution or contaminant in health or injuries. Okay, for the example, human can be affected by soil pollution through the inhalation of gases emitted from soil moving upward, or through the inhalation of matter that is disturbed and transported by the wind because of the various human activity on the ground. Soil pollution may cause a variety of health problems, starting with headache, nausea, fatigue, skin rash, eye irritation, and potentially resulting in more serious condition like neuromuscular blockage, kidney and liver damage and various form of cancer. So I think that's all from me. By for example, for soil pollution. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. After hearing all the panel opinion, I also agree that I also agree about panel two opinion before that she said factory development give benefits to life for people around us. For example, giving a job for people who do not have job, and it can give our economy uh, and it affect our economy growth over the year. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, panel one. I would like to add some of the step um, for us that can reduce the pollution, which one of the biggest effect from the factory development. So there are a few steps that we can take to reduce the pollution. Okay. To ensure that we always use healthy air, we need to take few steps to improve existing air quality. There is a few steps that we can take to improve the air quality, such as mandating all factories to use smoke filters. The authorities should ensure that factories and companies involved in the activity of releasing factory smoke into the air to install smoke filters on their respective factory chimneys. This is to ensure that no harmful substances are sprayed along the factory smoke and also to reduce the quantity of smoke emitted. Secondly, um, they also have to organize the awareness campaign to the community. Awareness campaign can be organized to educate the community in addressing this issue better. At least an environmental love campaign like this can be further raised in public awareness on the importance of caring for the environment. And thirdly, we can use a well-maintained vehicles. Used vehicles should be better maintained. This is to ensure that the vehicles we use can minimize the production of gas produced. Vehicles that are regularly maintained produce less smoke than vehicles that are rarely maintained. And lastly, we can also use the public transportation. The use of public transport vehicles are also able to minimize the production of air pollutant. Like vehicle sharing, the use of public transport there clearly reduces the number of private vehicles on the road. At the same time, this can reduce the pollutant released into the air. So that's also the point that I want to give. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, our panel. So, what I can say from all the point and the enumeration had been given, I can conclude that Government, individual and party must take responsible and play their own role, looking forward to take care of the environment and environmental issue to and concern with the problem. Okay, with these things, individual can live a healthy lifestyle in the city. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the panel. And that's all for our forum for today. Thank you.